All right. Hello and welcome back. I've made it to my first stop, my first pit stop. I'm gonna do little. I think I mentioned in the last video that I'm only I don't like to do super long drives. Like I drove basically from where I was at in kind of Gatineau, Ottawa area to just north of Toronto to my aunt's house as my first pit stop or my first stop on this journey. And five and a half hours because I kind of like took a long way to not like have any tolls, you know, for driving, and also yeah, just took a scenic route. I really want to enjoy this drive, so took my time. And yeah, that's about as max of driving that I'd like to do. um, I could do more, but it's just like I want to enjoy my evenings and the time that I'm not driving anyways. But yeah, the drive was pretty good. um, it was really heavy leaving, um, as mentioned in the last video, like just the property that was at and the meaning that it had. And yeah, so leaving this morning was pretty, or yesterday morning was pretty intense, emotionally, even though I may have not showed it on the outside. But yeah, so the drive, I mean, I thought part of me, after like the sadness and crying, I thought like I would kind of, just put some music on and just start to really vibe and enjoy. And I ended up driving the entire way without any music at all, any sounds at all, even like the GPS that I was using. And I also want to check because I put this little like windsock thing over this thing. I want to see if that, because I've noticed my P's and my like T's, like the like, that's what this not only helps with wind, but it also helps with like when you're going and it like overstimulates the microphone. We'll see if this works for that. But anyways, yeah, so even the GPS that I was using, like I didn't have it, had no audio, so I just really wanted to just kind of sit in it, sit in the emotion, sit in the silence, because I was like so overly stimulated and emotionally exhausted, and just for weeks and weeks, and over a month, but especially the last couple of weeks, preparing to leave was really, yeah, just so much stimulation. And so I really just wanted to kind of like drive without trying to like numb anything, and like I said, just sit in it and sit with what came up. And over the course of 5 hours, there were certainly ebbs and flows of like, feeling sad and worried or whatever, but mainly it was neutral. Mainly it was just like my body kind of, like I was deep breathing a lot, and it was kind of my body just trying to like catch up. And I know like it's going to take time for my body to catch up to the new pace, the new routine, the new reality that I'm leaving in, but that I'm living in. But yeah, I think mainly my my drive was just kind of like me trying to like just be present and observe like what was happening. And like I said, it was just, I think it was more of just like a exhaling into kind of like a space of curiosity, not so much like a trying to fill it with joy or excitement or anything. It was just kind of like it's just so much like there's just so much having been like that I've been letting go over the last like couple weeks, and even before that just the drive, like just I needed the silence, and I needed just nothing coming in, no more extra stimulation coming in. And so it was really nice. I was surprised like that I, at some point didn't get whatever bored of the sound over the course of like, 5.5 hours. Put some music on, or like some like frequencies or something like that, but it never did. And there were certain points for sure in the silence where, my exuberance or like my natural joy came through. Usually it was like spurred on by like driving through like small towns and like seeing the names of small towns and the names of certain businesses in these small towns that I'd never like heard of or seen before. And I just thought it's just funny seeing the different versions of things in different places. And obviously just like, yeah, like some names of towns are kind of funny. I don't know. It just made me start to laugh and like start like commentating on what I was seeing, and just more of my like regular vibe was coming through, which was nice because it's been so heavy for so long. Like normally, my natural state is things aren't that serious, like even the serious things aren't that serious. And I'm usually able to find like a lot of humor and like levity in life and what I'm experiencing. But this has just been heavy as AF. Heavy as fuck. Just this process of letting everything I've ever known go in order to make space for something new that I've never experienced. To make space for it to come in, because I can't, like, the new cannot come in if the old is still there. So yeah, so the drive was really nice. It was just kind of like I was really like, it didn't feel that long. Towards the end it felt a little long for me, at the end of like the 5 hours, but like once you get closer to any destination, you're kind of like itching to get to arrive, But yeah, and it's really nice. Like, it just felt right to come to my aunt's first to just have it like kind of like that first pit stop outside of, outside of my bubble. But like, I've been to Toronto, I've driven to Toronto before, so it's like it'll really be a different vibe again when I leave here, which will be tomorrow. So I arrived last night, or I arrived, last evening, and it was really nice, to see my aunt and catch up with her. And she had some friends around here. She's very sociable and has a lot of people around her property. She has a beautiful property, and it's such a blessing to come here every time, which I haven't that often over the years, but every time it's just so nice, and I always feel very welcomed here. And last night, played some music and, performed a little bit for my aunt and her friend, and that was fun. Stayed up way too late and like definitely slept in today, which is fine. I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere today. Today I was going to be like a full day here. And another big reason is that my cousins are going to come and see me while I'm here. So my aunt's daughters, and one of them has a kid that I haven't met, a child. So I think they're already over a year old. Anyways, I always forget. It's like, okay, if your first cousin has a kid, to you, I think that makes them your second cousin. Is that right? I'm not sure how that works, what they call them. Anyways, I'm excited to meet them. And and just enjoy the day. I've already, like, what's really cool is that yesterday, because I knew when I was tracking or kind of planning my next pit stops. I was planning my next pit stops after here, prior to arriving here. I was looking up at different like different campsites and like how many stops I'd like to make along the way to Winnipeg, where I'll be, connecting with my brother. He lives there. He's in the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra, which is really cool. Anyways, that's kind of like that's going to be the next main destination. But I'm going to be splitting up that that trip in between here, just north of Toronto, and Winnipeg, in 5 days. So I'm really going to take my time. I'm not going to drive much more than 5 hours any day. And that way it gives me time to arrive to my campsite. I'm going to be camping at a provincial park, a different provincial park each one of those days. And there's a few like little, well, one mainly, but there's like a few little things I want to do along the way that I saw that could be interesting, like hikes and like little lookouts and stuff like that I want to check out. Like I said, I really want to enjoy this journey. I'm not in a rush to get to the other side of the country. I want to see the country and enjoy and embrace and be present for this path, this journey. And honestly, that's a big thing too. I don't want to get sidetracked too much off of the kind of the update, but I guess that's part of it. It's just like, this is a really big theme for me in many areas of my life, of this this theme of being in a rush versus just, enjoying what's here and what's in the present moment, and just, trusting and surrendering to what's happening through me, and the kind of life that's being called out and evoked through me, and to be curious about it, right? To be curious about my own experience, and to be still enough to like listen to what my voice and my inclinations are saying, and because it's easy to be in a rush, like, oh, I want to get to the other side of the country and get there and forget everything in between. But it's like, no, like, this is a big, beautiful country, and I want to see. Like, I'm not going to drive everywhere. Like, I'm not going to make it a 1 month journey. But there's of course so many things you can see in this country. But yeah, like I really detest the feeling of being rushed, feeling rushed. I've always, hated that. I mean, it's a hard word to say, but like, I've really detested the feeling of being rushed. Sometimes when I speak as well, sometimes I want to think about what I have to say, and like, I'm not a perfect public speaker. I don't cut these videos out, and I don't know, this is the vibe sometimes, where I'm pondering or I'm thinking things, and being rushed in my speech, where people are like, whatever, listening to me talk, kind of being like, it's like, okay, man, like, I don't have to talk to you, I don't have to talk and tell you my thoughts and feelings, if you are feeling like, get to the point, then you're not listening at all, and to each their own. But yeah, just feelings of being rushed in everything, and in this case, feeling rushed to get places, to get to the next stop, to get to the next XYZ. So yeah, I think splitting up the journey between here in Winnipeg, in sleeping 4 nights, arriving on the 5th day, that'll be really nice. I'll get to experience a lot of different campsites and fun vibes, and get used to like putting up my tent, taking it down, cleaning it, and also like how it works with my food and cleaning things. Like, as prepared as I am, or as I think I am for this, and all this time I've taken to prepare myself, and this, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, and make sure you do this, and make sure this. 100%, there's going to be things like on the first frickin' day, or the first thing, where it's like, oh, I didn't think about this. Like, I can already tell like the layout of my car is just like to like it's very disorganized. Do this a little darker. I don't know. It's very not disorganized. It's just like it's not strategically like aligned or whatever. Like the things that I need quick access to aren't in the most easily accessible spots. So anyways, little things like that. Certainly things that I have right now that I probably will never use, that will eventually make its way out of the car to make space for either more new stuff, more useful stuff, or ideally, not more stuff, right? That's the whole freaking point of this, is getting rid of stuff. But so today is going to be a nice day of just hanging out, chilling out. I want to make this video and upload it while I'm here, while I'm still in some good Wi-Fi to upload things. Like, as I said in a previous video, like the Starlink is awesome for like download and like, if you want to watch entertainment, which is not what I want to do, but I'm really trying to get off of technology throughout this journey, because I've had my fair share of technology and like consuming and stuff. I'd like to, if I'm going to consume stuff, like let it be just from books. I have lots of books. I literally have, I had this bookshelf, and most of the books I left behind for the next guy who's living in my spot. Or it's not my spot anymore, but the next tenant. And I kept a lot of books so that I knew, like, okay, these ones I really want to read, and I really like some of them I've read and I want to reread because they're good reminders. I literally have like a laundry basket full of books. And it's not just books, it's also like journals and empty like yellow sheet, like legal pad, like writing material, because that's kind of what I want to do. I want to express more. I want to read books and write things and music and this, and not be so conditioned to just like seek answers from the algorithm, which is so catered to keeping me on it and, intaking more and more of the things that are reaffirming the things that I'm believing right now. And, it's crazy how smart, or not smart, but you know what I mean? Like the algorithm, how it just loops you in. That's what it's designed to do. These social media companies, it's a double-edged sword. It's like, yes, there's community and there's like finding good things, but then it's also the aspect of it being inherently designed to keep more of your attention, more of your focus on it, and not actually doing and living the way you want to live and expressing through your own way. There's a big, for those who want to create like me, like it you really have to like step into a different, like the other side of it, like the one who contributes. And it's like, that's the thing too. Like, that's why I don't know how this is all going to evolve, but like, I don't want this to be a place where it's just an ad, an advertisement for, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like what I do and monetizing what I do, and all these videos end up being just like, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. Like maybe there's, belief system things about like why I feel like I don't want to monetize my expression or whatever. I don't know. It's all going to evolve. Like I'm sure down the line there'll be like, because nothing feels like very clearly aligned right now of what I would offer that I would like want to charge for, you know what I mean? Anyways, getting off track here, but yeah, like you have to change your mindset with technology of like, okay, like I'm going to provide value in whatever ways that may look like to me. Like for me, I think the value that I can provide in this moment is just sharing my experience. That's it. Just sharing my experience, a genuine, honest experience. and being as honest and authentic as I can. And through that, through the safety of that, through the feeling safer and more whatever, like capable and confident of sharing my truth or whatever without many filters, then more of my real self will come through, and including in like the artistic expression side of things. But anyways, yeah, so today's gonna be a nice day of just hanging out, seeing my cousins, meeting one of my cousin's kids, hanging out, going to bed much earlier today because tomorrow I'm gonna do my thing in the morning, a bit of work, and then head out to the first campsite, which is like, man. And that's the thing, like driving here, yes, it was whatever, hard and exciting and like, oh my God, letting things go. But it's still like just north of Toronto. And like, I've been here before, I've driven this before. So it's still almost like, it's kind of like just a visit, But when I finally start to like really move further away into places I've never been, down road, seeing things I've never seen. Like even yesterday I was seeing things I'd never seen, but like, and it's always fun, novelty is so fun. And I think, yeah, this whole trip is going to help to expand my mind and just have more like wide eyes again, like, like, oh wow, like look at that, not having it like everything be so predictable and everything that I've seen it all, and like part of me, when I was driving yesterday was like, well, this is all kind of the same, and like, yeah, in the same part of the country, and yes, there's a lot of similar things, and everything is a different version somewhere else of the same thing. But then I happened upon this little town, and I was like, oh, like, look at this little town. This is cute, like, it's just like, I don't know, I've never seen this town before. This little, I forget what it was called, but it was just kind of like a little town doing its little town thing, like little businesses, a nice little street, and like nice buildings and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I don't know, like I'm excited to yeah, just look at things with more awe and wonder and curiosity again. And I think this trip is going to help to encourage that and facilitate that. But yeah, this next, like tomorrow, it's going to be the true kind of first road trip, or the first like test, like beyond a previous boundary or previous whatever limit. And then, yeah, like just kind of enjoying that little trek until I connect with my brother in Winnipeg. And then that'll be another one too, like beyond Winnipeg and going across, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and getting to Alberta. Man, it's going to be freaking crazy, dude. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to upload this today because then, tomorrow, like I'll record these videos, but I'll likely not be able to upload them until I get to Winnipeg and just like batch upload them and whatever, like schedule them to be like spread out or whatever. I'll figure it out. Anyways, I'm going to go enjoy my time now. If you're watching this, thanks for checking it out. I forget if I wanted to share more things. I mean, I shared part of my experience of the drive, and yeah, I think I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on, and yeah, thanks for being here. And yeah, if you're like going through any big changes in your life, or you're thinking about taking leaps of faith or accepting big change in your life, I think that's the biggest part of this, has just been the accepting of what's being asked of me. Accepting, like, I don't want to call it the challenge, but accepting like the call or what's happening through you. Allow it to happen through you. Don't resist it. So I encourage you to do that. and to just really truly listen to your voice, your knowings, your gut feelings, and yeah, trust it and don't get too much in your mind about it. Let go and allow yourself to be pleasantly surprised with how things unfold for you, because they often unfold in ways way better than you could ever imagine. So many blessings to you. I love you, and I'm looking forward to updating you again soon with, you know, updates on how my first couple days of camping have gone and stuff. So looking forward to that. So you take care, and we'll connect soon. And yeah, enjoy your day. Be well. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care.